Oh, all right. And we are hot after market. Um, did a bunch of stuff today. A lot of it was some flyers, but I had put on, just real quick, put on the Merck trade. So we're in that. That was a put spread out in February. Also did a little Tesla trade. Actually got long. Did a little 380, 382.50. Getting beat up a little bit. Also went long a little Palantir call spread. Just little baby trades. And then also an XLE calendar spread. Long. Oil having a really good day today overall. And markets, they actually bottom up at the end. I mean, we were down pretty hard early on, and all day they bought them back. They bought them back. So just really interesting that we had so much price. I mean, you look at the price action today, and this is the 1 hour chart. It was a nice open. And then it was down hard, and some big candles. And then here at the end, some nice rally. And if you were playing the pivots, I actually played the pivot today. I actually talked about R3. We never got there. Actually, the place to short was R2. Right in here. R2 was definitely the place to short today, but I did play this S3 today. As you can see, though, that was the lows, and I bought a little down there, did one little baby one, and managed to get a nice move, about 10 handles from about 9, where is it? Right here, from 58.81 up to 59 honey. So pretty nice little trade there on a. I did a micro. I didn't do the big fat guy. I did the baby one, and that one turned out pretty good. In fact, it was the first time. It was the first time that I actually, and if you notice, I do have my yeah.
You are? Yeah. Oh, I just checked on your plant. Are you watering it?
Yes. That's it. Anyway, this was the first time that I actually traded on TradingView with my Tasty Trade account, which was pretty slick. It was actually pretty nice to be able to do that. And so I highly recommend it. Get your account hooked up with it. I love it. I'm really excited because, as I mentioned plenty of times, the interface for trading, and this trades came from TradingView. So I was pretty excited. And I've been watching the euro a little bit. So anyway, pretty big rally here at the end. NASDAQ almost got positive. I thought they were going to bring it green. Didn't quite do that, but still a pretty good bounce. But it looks like the Russell is actually going to close, or will close out, at least from the futures side, is going to close out to the green. But just a really weird day overall. You have the dollar rallying like a banshee today, just nuts, and bonds almost flat, pretty much flat. And I talked about, I lightly talked about bonds, like, did we hit the bottom? And today I have to say, I did sweat a little bit. I'm like, oh boy, here I go. I called the bottom, and then I should have kept my freaking mouth shut. But we did bounce. And again, if you're playing those pivots, I was not in front of my screen at the time, and I did not have, but I was watching this and did not take advantage of it. But you could look at this. This was a beautiful setup today. So off this number. So there you have that. And then crude oil having a really big day today. Real big today. And continues to look strong as well. So we'll see what happens there. That's the 1 hour. You look at the 4 hour. If you look at the 4 hour, we finally, after today, we'll see how we kind of close out. It does look like we are going to close out above these numbers. We're going to close out above a lot of these numbers. Let me just do this real quick and get rid of those. But this range that we've been stuck in forever since almost October, we might have actually broke it today. So this is going to be a key area of support, which puts us at about 72.90. 72.90. So I'm going to go ahead and put an alert at 72.90. All right, and the little alert on that. So about 72.90. If we do close above it. And that would be the break out here. And then, look, maybe the next spot, 76.21 and 78. But who knows? We'll see how this goes. But crude oil finally becoming something worth trading. We'll look at that natural gas. Kind of hitting a bit of a stumbling block here. Kind of lost some of its range today. Pretty inside day, I would say. Didn't really get a big, huge print today as far as range. Kind of stuck in here, but that's exactly what. And with that being said, volatility came in. And if you look at the volatility in natural gas, you'll see that volatility has actually collapsed pretty nicely in here, down to 64. And we sold our options. I don't know why I can't grab that. Why is that not? There we go. We sold our options back when this was in the 90s. It's down now to 64. And now I am flat. My natural gas options and made about 30. Actually, it's close to 40%. It was about 38% on those. Just selling an iron condor that was relatively, wide and worked out. And only held on to that for maybe about 5 or 6 days. It wasn't very long. So that trade is gone. And, given where the volatility is now in natural gas, I'm not really sure that there's really a play in here anytime soon, unless we get a kind of a bolt in volatility. Then maybe I'll contemplate doing something there. But right now, that kind of looks like that's kind of a dead stick. Gold having a pretty big day today, up 31 points. Relative to where it's been, it's still got a long way to go before it starts beating on its previous highs. But, good recovery. And if you're a technician, you do have kind of a little double bottom going back here and then kind of a base and a move higher. Does it continue? I don't know, but if you are a technician, I mean, to me, this does look like this may have some more legs to the upside. And so that's the story there with the commodities. And then if we look at some of the stocks, Tesla really got thumped up today pretty hard, down literally 6%, closing at 378 change. And, from the looks of this, next stop could possibly be around, I would call it 360. You're probably going to see this thing continue to, unless it gets a bounce. There really was no sign of a bounce today. But, this thing does have, in my opinion, this does have legs down to probably 330 if possible. We'll see. Right. So if you are a technician, you may want to hold on to your seat a little bit on Tesla. You do have to put it in perspective. This sucker has run like, kind of was too fast and too furious. But, I could definitely see this thing continuing to consolidate and down to about 340 or so in there. However, with that being said, I actually bought a little call spread, looking for a bounce tomorrow. I kind of expect a lot of these to bounce back early. I don't know if it'll be sustainable, but I do expect a lot of these to bounce in the morning. Even the mighty Apple got thumped up today. Wind blowing. Yeah, and if you're a technician, you're looking at this spot right here. We have a lot of red here, and there's a lot of selling that's actually held up. Does this hold? I have to say, if we break 240, again, I'm not a technician. I just try to act like one on TV. But I would put a line in the sand here around 240, whatever this low of this candle is, which is 241.82. And if we break that, that is a pretty bad situation. Not that it's, again, it's not the end of the world, but, as far as Apple recovering from this, Apple can see some more downside pretty easily. Because this sucker's really has had this is another one that's run. So I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and create an alert on there. And if we do breach that, I'm going to lean bearish on Apple. I may have been late to the party, but a break there, and realistically, if you look at this chart here, you may get a little catch here at 239, but next stop is 234. So another $10. And I'm just looking at profile, and you can see this is where we consolidated before we had this leg up back in the beginning of December. And so that is a pretty critical area for Apple, in my opinion, anyway. And just looking from the chart and, comparing that to the profile, doesn't seem to be a lot of beef in here, right? We could get caught on this tree branch here, 239. But then you got a decent size hole in here. You got a decent size hole in there. To run. And if sellers take charge, right, next stop, there it is right there, which is about 235 right there. Right there. 234. 234. 234.95. And give or take, right? Nothing's perfect, but that's that's what you're looking at. That's what I'd be looking at. You can put this anywhere. Put this over here. Keep it out of the way. And there you go. There's a little chart painting. Other than that, we actually did a trade in Netflix as well. Netflix kind of got hit a little bit. Talked about this one this morning, that it does look like they kind of hit a wall here. And seeing that it actually sold off, what I had done in Netflix was I actually moved the strikes down. So what I had done with Netflix is I actually did the 10-20, 10-15, because we lost 10 points earlier, and it was kind of in the wheelhouse. And I was like, you know what? I think this is a good spot. And again, I was trying to get that higher end, but the strikes were too wide. They're 20 wide. But that's the last, I believe that's the last one in February that actually is a $5 wide. And out after that, they're all 20. Yep. And so I'm literally, and this one standard deviation was two strikes. It was up here, and now it actually moved down. So again, with this down move, it actually helped us with that trade, because I've been trying to put that one on for a while. And you could see it is literally as delta neutral as you can get. And so there you go. And just a little recap for the close here. And we'll see everybody in the morning.